Hey, this is Kelly Nielsen, the Grief Guru. And on this channel, we talk about all things related to grief. What does it look like? What does it feel like? But most importantly, we share tips, tools, and resources on how to move through grief and get back to living a life that you love. On today's episode, we're going to be talking about our grief timeline series, where we're going through the entire first year after loss. And today we're going to be specifically looking at the time frame between 6 months to 9 months after the loss. So if you find yourself in this time frame, if you lost someone 6 to 9 months ago, this video is for you. So first of all, let me say that this time frame is a little bit tricky because you probably find yourself in one of two camps, or maybe sliding in between these two places. So the first place that you may find yourself is if you have found some tools and support, if you've been practicing those things, you actually may find by this point that you're starting to feel better. You may find that you're starting to feel like yourself again. Your cognition is working better than it was before. If you've been applying some neurological tools and skills that we share with folks, you may find that you're feeling better. And if you're in that camp, let me say kudos and congratulations, because I know it isn't by accident that you find yourself feeling better. It has been because you've put in consistent, intentional energy and effort, and you're probably surrounded by some pretty amazing support in order to find yourself in that place. So again, well done, but don't stop here. Don't, because you're starting to feel better, don't let go of those lessons. Keep practicing, keep applying what you've learned, because you're going to find that you're going to feel better and better. Your recovery is going to accelerate even more as you continue to practice those things. But the other group that you may find yourself in, and the folks that I specifically want to talk to you in this video, is you may find that you're actually feeling worse as opposed to better. And this is a very dangerous place to be, because the danger is you may think that there is no recovery available to you. You know, with most injuries or accidents, you know, after a certain amount of time, you start to feel better. Grief is tricky in the fact that if you don't work at it, it can just sit with you and on you, and you could likely find yourself feeling worse at this point. Again, if that is you, don't believe the lie that there is no hope for you, that there is no recovery for you. Just dedicate yourself to finding the tools and resources that you need in order to start developing the skills and building the muscles so that you can feel better. That is available to you. That's what we help people do all day long, every day. But I hear from a lot of folks that around this time frame, you can begin to feel hopeless. You know, certainly at this time frame, chances are most of the people around you are well, you know, back into their life and living life maybe as if this loss didn't happen. But for you, if it was someone really close to you, and especially if you haven't done some of the hard work of processing through the loss or building up those muscles to know how to navigate the overwhelming waves of grief that inevitably come your way, you may find that you really haven't moved on much at all. And that can have you feeling heavy. It can have you feeling isolated. Another thing you might be experiencing at this point is if your support system, if your regular support system, your family members, your close friends, the folks that you normally go to in times of crisis or trauma, they may be, you may have found by now or at this point that they're not the best source of support for you. Everyone deals with grief differently. Everyone deals on a different timeline and time frame and pace. And also, depending on how the folks connected to your life were connected to the person that you lost, you may find that they're not the best source of support for you. So again, that can be a dangerous, tricky place, because you can feel incredibly alone and isolated and misunderstood. But just because you're not finding support in the common places that you used to go for support doesn't mean that support is not available to you and isn't out there. You just have to go find it. You know, one of the things that I say often is that trauma is not your fault, but healing is your responsibility. And healing is absolutely available to you, but you have to do the work to find the mix of support and tools that's going to work well for you. So certainly, because this is entirely what we do at Grief Guru, I want to make you aware of some tools and resources that we have available in our company, because if you're at the 6 to 9 month mark and you find that you're not getting better, it is officially time to call in some help. So certainly there are many counselors that's a good place that you can start. There are folks that deal with grief, but some of the resources we have here, we have both paid and free resources. So if you're looking for support, if you're looking for community, folks who get it, folks who've been through loss and are committed to recovery, and I encourage you to connect with us on Facebook. We have a free Facebook group exactly for that, for community. It's our Grief Relief Facebook group. I welcome you to join us there. But also we have paid programming, depending on the type of support you're looking for and how you best learn. So we have an annual membership for folks that receive video lessons and are plugged into community. We have group coaching. So if you're somebody at the 6 to 9 months that you're like, man, this is not getting better and I just really need some structured help, our group coaching program is a 10-week structured program to help you identify the areas you're needing help and help you to create a recovery plan that's right for you. So I really would encourage you to check that out, our group coaching. And even beyond that, if you really are just needing some one-on-one weekly help and accountability, we have one-on-one coaching available for folks as well. But most importantly, we just are cheering you on in your recovery journey and want to make ourselves available to just have an introductory conversation. If you don't even know what you don't know, maybe you're not sure what you need. I'll include the link to have a one-on-one chat with either myself or one of our other Grief Guru coaches to help you do a quick assessment to just figure out where you're at in your recovery, what would be most helpful for you, and what combination of tools and products would be the most helpful for you to recover. The most important thing, if you do nothing else right now, is to recognize that recovery is available to you. And even if you haven't moved hardly at all at this point, movement and healing is available and you can start moving today. It's not too late for you. You haven't missed the boat. Whenever you start is a great time to start. So don't feel like you're never going to get over this. Just start reaching out and finding the tools and the support that you need. And we'll see you again in the next video, rounding out the year in a grief timeline. But the last thing I want to leave with you, no matter where you find yourself, I want you to look back and remember and recognize where you were when this very first happened. If nothing else, you have survived and endured and maintained since this happened. So that it takes a tremendous amount of strength and courage to do this thing that is called grief. And so I want to just applaud you and commend you for coming this far. And I want to cheer you on and encourage you that it can get better. It does get better when you put the time and energy into it. So until next time, guys.